All right, we are back with another pick'em video, and we had another sweep yesterday. Nice little 4-0 run over the past two videos, and Obi Toppin and Dante DiVincenzo crushed their line. So we're going to talk about the video picks from yesterday a little bit later in this one. I do like to just jump right into the picks for today, in which we got two game twos. Celtics versus Cavs is going to be the first game we're going to go over, and then we're going to talk Mavericks and the Thunder game two as well. Really excited about these plays. I got four picks for us today, all different types of guys, but we're going to be talking, my thoughts on the game. Maybe you'll get some other ideas of what to go to with just what I say. But four official picks we're going to talk about today, and really liking these. So if you're new to the channel, definitely go ahead and subscribe. Leave the video a like and comment anything down below. I had someone tell me this the other day. I think it'd be a good comment section, discussion. Who is having a better playoff series, or I guess just playoffs in general? Jalen Brunson or Anthony Edwards? That's a tough one. So that could be the comment down below if you want to do that. But let's just jump right into things today. I'm going back to Jayson Tatum. If you go back to the video for game one, we had really good calls on Daniel Gafford and Jayson Tatum. And if it's not broke, if it's not broke, we're not going to try to fix it here. So Jayson Tatum, going right back to him. First half fantasy score. This did get boosted up by 0.5. It was at 21.0. And he still pushed that line when we went to him last game. So for someone that has been pretty ice cold in these playoffs so far, someone they need to get going, and he still pushed that line last game, I'm going right back to this. Can he knock down a three? Went 0 for 3 in the first half of game one. Scored 11 points, or scored 8 points maybe, 11 rebound, or sorry, other way around. 8 rebounds, 11 points, but didn't shoot too well. Maybe knock down some threes. He's got to get going for this Celtics team to go far, is what they are trying to do in the playoffs, and he needs to get going. Is Derek White going to score 11 points in the first half again? Maybe. Is Jaylen Brown going to go for 18 in the first half again? Maybe. But Tatum, he really needs to get going, and first half's where he's been doing a lot of his damage this playoffs. Not for the full game, but for the playoffs, first half's where we go to Tatum. And then his 10.0 rebounds is on PrizePicks. If you want to be looking at that, we're going to look at both these lines. It's at 9.5, a lot of other places. I got this at Underdog at 9.5. I think it was at 9.5 a little bit earlier on PrizePicks, but it got boosted to 10. I think he's going to go out and rebound, especially with Jared Allen looking like he's not going to play. So let's just jump into these two plays. Again, if you don't have first half, I wouldn't go to Tatum his full game. I think he's going to get cooking eventually, but he has been, shooting poorly. And he's done, hitting his first halves, but not hitting his full games. I would just go to his rebounds if you can't get that first half. But on PrizePicks, we can go ahead and get both of those. If you're not on PrizePicks, definitely check them out. They got fun lines, dunk lines. They got three-pointers attempted lines, all these different types of things that you can mess around with. And they're a lot of fun. Check them out. Use code RichPicks. It's in the description of this video. Anything, you were looking for, description of this video, you can get discounts or deposit matches or anything you want to look at. It also helps, support the channel. So let's go into Outlier, another partner of the channel. Check this out for a free week. But we got Tatum pulled up here. I'm going to go ahead and reset all this. We're at 21.5 for the first half PRA. And we see it's a nice 56% hit rate for the entire year. And then the head-to-head matchups, he's gone over this in 5 of the last 7 games against the Cavs. Now you see red in game 1. It was a push for us when we went to it, but again, it got boosted up by 0.5, which makes sense to me. If you look at Tatum's stats that game, like I mentioned, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. He's been distributing the ball. Drew Holiday said, hey, he's maybe being a little bit more of a distributor today, or in that game, but he's been able to do that, being able to rebound in the playoffs like he has been. He just needs to score a few more buckets for us. Shoot better than, I don't even know what he shot, 30-something% in that first half. 4 for 12, 33%. He's got to knock down a 3, 0 for 3 in the first half of game 1. And I think he can go ahead and do that for us. So really liking Tatum here. Hit rate against the Cavs has been really good. And then in the playoffs in general, he's actually hitting 5 of 7 games in the playoffs too. Again, that was a push last game. It's just getting a little bit of a boost. So I like Tatum in the first half. I am a Celtics fan. I see Jayson Tatum a lot. He's playing kind of angry, which is why you see him, crashing the boards. Obviously, no Jared Allen, no Porzingis for him to get a lot of rebounds, which is why I like his rebounds line as well. But he's got to start scoring. He's not going to the rack as much. He's kind of, settling for some fadeaways, for some three-pointers. And I think we're going to see him, maybe go to his dunks line. I think he has a dunks line at 0.5. But yeah, I like Tatum today. I think he's got to get going eventually, and I don't want to miss it when we do. So Jayson Tatum over 21.5, first half PRA. Really, really liking that. If you want to look at the rebounds here, again, 9.5, a lot of other places. Gone over in 4 straight games, 5 of 6 games in the playoffs so far. Yeah, 5 of 6 games of the playoffs so far. And if you look back to last playoffs, he rebounded really well against them last time. If you want to look at games, without Porzingis, especially no Jared Allen on the other side of things, he also rebounds the ball a little bit better. And that first half PRA looks a lot better without Porzingis as well. So you take into account home game, you take into account no Porzingis, and this turns into a nice 61% hit rate for the first half PRA. A lot of green recently. So I'm liking Tatum today. I'm not going to miss it once he has that big game. And could it be tonight? I thought it was going to be last game, and just wasn't. So he's going to get cooking eventually, and hopefully it is tonight. All right, so if you're wondering why my cursor wasn't really lining up with what I was saying sometimes, it's because I had to do that in the post edit. I realized when I was filming it, I was just showing my face. I wasn't showing my screen, which I typically do. So you're not going to see my little face in the bottom corner of when I'm talking about Tatum. Everything's fixed for the rest of this video. And I also realized I was kind of messing up what I was talking about for Tatum. It's first half PRA. I kept saying first half fantasy score. I messed up some of the percentages, but everything holds true for what I think and what I was showing on the screen. Tatum, I think, is going to have a great first half. PRA, rebound the ball, score a little bit more, maybe even get a few more assists than he has been. But yeah, just wanted to clear that up. Everything's, again, fixed for the rest of this video. So I'm going to talk about the Cavs and the Celtics, my thoughts on that series right after this. And then we're going to go into our picks for the later game. And then in terms of my thoughts in the game in general, I do think the Celtics go out and win this thing. It's a 13.5-point spread. I don't know if I'd bet this spread. I think the Cavs are a good team. I know the media is saying this will probably be a sweep, probably 5 games. But again, we've seen time and time again, Celtics do settle sometimes. But it is the Cavs on the road, and I can't really trust anyone not named Donovan Mitchell. If you want to look at Donovan Mitchell, I'd be looking at his first half stats if you can get it. Because again, this has some blowout potential, and Donovan Mitchell has been hobbling, goes to the ground. He looks like he's grimacing, but he continues to play really well. 33 points in game 1. Darius Garland has played well against the Celtics in the past, but on the road, especially in the playoffs, I don't know if I can trust him. Evan Mobley had a pretty solid game, 17 points and 13 rebounds in that first game 1, but a lot of his scoring came at the end of that one where it didn't really matter. So I don't think there's a Cavalier I can trust other than Donovan Mitchell. And on the Celtics side of things, Derek White's been absolutely on fire. His lines just keep trickling up. He's going to have one of those off games. Not really an off game from him, but you're going to see Tatum have one of those games. You're going to see, Jaylen Brown. I think Drew Holiday at 12.5 points is probably a good look for us as well. He hasn't been shooting well, but did score 14 in game 1. So those are kind of my leans. Peyton Pritchard played really well off the bench, 16 points in 20-something minutes. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the rest of the guys. I can't trust the Cavs on the road other than Donovan Mitchell. And then for the Celtics side of things, I do think Jayson Tatum is going to have one of those games eventually. And I'd be looking first half if you can get it for this one. All right, then moving along to the next game, we got the Mavericks versus the Thunder, game 2 in OKC. And I'm going right back to Daniel Gafford, kind of like we did in game 1. We got both these guys in the slip. Daniel Gafford over 18.5 points and rebounds. There's not going to be much I'm going to have to tell you once you see the games he's played against this Thunder team. He likes this matchup against Chet. Yes, Chet is long. He's 7'1", 7'2", whatever he might be, but he's 200 pounds. Gafford's, 6'10", 6'11", 240. So he's got the weight difference there. And again, we saw Jonas Valanciunas do this against the Thunder last series, being one of their best offensive threats. And Daniel Gafford had almost as many points as Luka last game. So I don't expect that again, but 18.5 points and rebounds. He's gotten 19 points against this team twice already. So Daniel Gafford, I'm going to just pull up his head-to-head right away. I guess not with all these guys. Head-to-head this season, 19 points and 9 rebounds, 19 points and 15 rebounds, and then last game, in game 1, 16 points and 11 rebounds. His points were at 8.5 last game. That's what we went to him as. But now it's up to 10.5. His rebounds line sitting at 7.5. I think both of those are pretty solid, but I do like the combo here because he's consistently been rebounding against this team, consistently been scoring against this team, and his minutes have been trickling up. 27 minutes, I believe. Yeah, 27 minutes in game 1. So if Gafford's going to go out and get 27 minutes, his hit rate is looking pretty good. So if we do want to look at that for 2023 as a whole, 52% hit rate. Obviously, he spent a lot of time on the Wizards this season. So if we want to look at games, with, let's say, Kyrie Irving, because Luka was dealing with some injuries, let's go to Kyrie Irving and you go to games that he's, seeing 20 plus minutes. 63% hit rate of games that he's seen 20 plus minutes, going out and playing with someone like Kyrie. And then if you get, 27 minutes or so, that's just an added bonus. So he's a -2 in a 22-point game. So was absolutely killing it when he was on the floor. I think that's someone they look to a little bit more. Maybe he gets even more than 27 minutes today. I'm not banking on it, but he totally could. Again, -2 in a 22-point loss for your plus minus. You're doing something good on the court. So Gafford, really liking him, 18.5 points and rebounds. If you want to look at his points, 10.5, I wouldn't mind taking that over. Or if you want to look at his rebounds at 7.5, I don't mind that as well. He can definitely block some shots. He had 5 of those in the first game. So if you want to look at his fantasy score on PrizePicks, so be it. If he's getting 27 minutes, Gafford's going to probably swat a shot or two. So I'm really liking Gafford. Again, if it's not broke, I'm not trying to fix it. The odds are also liking this. If you look at the average sports books, -122.8 on the over, -110 on the under. Just means that if you take this on other sports books, they're probably going to pay you out a little bit less if you take that over, because they're saying if we had to choose over or under, we're probably taking the over on this one. So we're taking advantage of that for sure. Daniel Gafford over 18.5 points and rebounds. Absolutely loving it. And then I actually have a second pick for the Mavericks here, and it's going to be Luka. We talked about him not even scoring as many points as Daniel Gafford, almost 19 points in game 1, but he did get 8 points in that first quarter, and he continues to do that consistently. 7.5 first quarter points for Luka Doncic. I've been waiting for this to go back down to this. Whenever it's at 7.5, it's something I've been attacking all season, and this is the playoffs. This is Luka. He is definitely hobbled. He's injured. He's dealing with that knee pain, but just like kind of Donovan Mitchell, he keeps going through it, keeps battling through it. He's just got to play a little bit better than he did in game 1. But he even had 8 points in first quarter in game 1 as well. So bad performance overall, but Luka's got to come out hot for this team to have any sort of chance. We could see Kyrie have a big game, but Luka is the guy at the end of the day. Let's go to his charts here, see what I'm talking about. 9 of the last 10 games he's gone over this. This includes the playoff series against the Clippers, missed it in one game, but 11, 12, 10, 8, 14, 8 are his last playoff performances against Clippers and against OKC. Then you look at the games before that, 21 and 13 in the first quarter. He's a guy that comes out hot. In 2023 as a whole, he hit this in 64% of games. Some of these games you got to throw out the window. It's getting 5.7 minutes, even getting 7.7 minutes. Some of these are low. He's going to be seeing the time, should see, maybe all 12 minutes in that first quarter, but he's definitely going to get, at least 10. And then when you look at the head-to-head here, 5 of the past 5 games against the Thunder, he's gone over this, soared over this a few times this season. This is dating back to 2022. So they're focusing on the games this year. He played them 3 times. Back in December, he scored 10 points. Back in February, he scored 18 points in the first quarter. And then again, game 1, he had 8 points. So assuming he comes out, I know he's a little bit hobbled. He doesn't look totally right. But it is Luka. If he's going to go out there and play, I think he's going to be, maybe a shell of himself, but even a shell of Luka can go ahead and handle this. 12 to 10 minutes, like I mentioned in that first quarter, I think he can go out there and get there. The only thing about this line is I'd probably take it on Sleeper. I actually did take it on Sleeper or a sports book or something like Chalkboard. That's going to pay you out, according to where the juice is, because this is slightly favored to go under. 7.5 around -115 on the under, whereas the over is around -104. So, it's a difference between maybe $1 or a couple cents here. If you don't want to take advantage of that, it is on PrizePicks. I didn't play it there just because I'm kind of nitpicking. Sometimes that does, in the long run of things, it does add up. So I took it over on Sleeper. But again, Luka 7.5 first quarter points. I think he can get there for us today. And then my final pick for today, it's going to be on the Thunder side of things, and it's going to be an under for Josh Giddy, 18.5 PRA. Now, kind of like that Luka line, it's slightly favored on the over here, slightly. It's pretty much a 50-50 line in terms of the books, but it's something that I really like, similar to the thought process I have for Daniel Gafford. Daniel Gafford was a -2, that's it, in a 22-point loss. So he was only -2. When he was on the court, they only lost by 2 points. That's what essentially means. He played pretty well while he was on the floor, exploiting that kind of size he has against Chet, not height, but like weight, and scoring and rebounding really well. On the other side of things, Josh Giddy played horrible. Somehow, a -7 in a 22-point victory is absolutely crazy. He didn't play much time. He had 16 minutes in the game, but on the other side of things, everyone else played extremely well. Shea, +21, Chet, +18, J-Dub, +15, Aaron Wiggins, +18, Kaysen Wallace, +13. So guys that would be taking Giddy's minutes played a lot better for him. And the reason was because the Thunder are so successful in driving, moving that ball around, and kicking it out to open threes. Giddy didn't hit a single 3. Everyone else that shot a 3 made a 3 except for Kenrick Williams, who shot 1-3 in 3 minutes. So I don't think Giddy's going to see a lot of time. I think he's going to get less than 20 minutes, and we've seen that against the Thunder this year. So Giddy, I'm fading you. 18.5 PRA seems a little bit too much. You might grab some rebounds. That's the only thing I'm kind of scared of. But yeah, if you can't get the minutes, I don't think you're going to get 19 PRA. So let's go to Giddy's page real quick. I have the head-to-head pulled up. He's played these guys 5 times this season. So don't take account last season. Last season, Giddy was a little bit different. The Thunder are very deep now. This season, he's gone under in 3 of 5 games. In 2 of these games, he's gone over. I think probably Shea missed one of those games or whatever. 22.9 minutes is the most he's seen against this Thunder team. And again, they exploit his matchup, on defensively, but also they can't swing him the ball to shoot threes like they like to play against the Mavs because he can't knock them down like the rest of these guys. So let's go into 2023 as a whole. Doesn't look amazing. 36% of the time he's gone under this. A ton of these games he was hooping. That's because Shea went down. He was getting a lot of minutes. Giddy can get, stuff the stat sheet when he gets the time. I just don't think he's going to get the time. Again, 16.9 minutes in game 1 because he didn't play well. I don't think he's going to play well in this matchup. If he sees less than 20 minutes or 20 minutes or less, this turns into a nice 69% hit rate, 9 of 13 games on the under, averaging 15.77 PRA. So I like Giddy's under. Again, the books don't love this. I didn't have it pulled up, or I do have it pulled up. Looks like the books are minus 112 on the under, whereas minus 121.1 on the over. So again, they're slightly favoring the over here. If you want to get the best bang for your buck, go take this at FanDuel or DraftKings or a sports book or maybe Sleeper or under or Chalkboard or something like that. But again, if you want to just throw in your PrizePicks play, that's okay too. It's going to be the difference of a few bucks here and there, which again, at the end of the day, does add up in the long run. But yeah, those are my 4 plays. Giddy is the only under, 18.5 PRA, taking the under on Giddy. So real quick recap of what we're talking about for today. Jayson Tatum, 21.5 first half PRA. I know I said fantasy score like a million times, but we're going to his PRA. Without Porzingis at home, this has a great hit rate, 67% hit rate, and he's got to come out hot one of these games. He's been hitting his first half, just not the full game, and we've seen the Celtics win by like 20-plus points every single victory so far this postseason. So, expect him to have a great first half. I think, for the full game, we don't know. This could be a blowout. Daniel Gafford, 18.5 points and rebounds. We've talked about him a bunch. This matchup against the Thunder, he dominates. He scored 19 points alone in 2 of the matchups against the Thunder this year. And Luka, I think, is going to have a better game. Kyrie might score a little bit better. But 27 minutes last time from him. If Gafford gets 27 minutes plus, he's going to be hitting this line. Luka over 7.5 first quarter points. Again, was waiting for this one to kind of drop back down. And whenever I see Luka at 7.5, I pretty much take the over without even thinking about it. Great hit rate. 5 for 5 games against the Thunder the past 5 times he's played the Thunder. He's a little bit hobbled. That's the only thing I'm scared of, but he's been consistently hitting this line throughout the whole season, but especially in the playoffs. 9 of the last 10 games he's gone over this. Josh Giddy, we just talked about him. I'm fading him. I don't think he sees a lot of time. 20 minutes or less is what I'm banking on, and if that happens, this is looking pretty good for us. He just doesn't play well against this Mavs team on offense or on defense. And then in terms of the recap for last video, we went 2-0 in terms of our official video picks. We went to Obi Toppin points and rebounds. He crushed that line, chipped in with 3 rebounds, but scored 20 points, so easily over. Then Donte DiVincenzo over 17.5 points. He crushed that line. We also talked about his field goals attempted. Smoked that line as well. The only one that was like kind of a semi-official video pick was Obi Toppin's dunk line. And if you told me Obi's going to score 20 points, I'd pretty much guarantee that he's going to have a dunk in that game. And he didn't. But I blame Rick Carlisle. He didn't play TJ McConnell down the stretch. He didn't play Obi Toppin down the stretch, even though they were completely outplaying Nembhard defensively, especially, and Nesmith. Both those guys could have been off the floor. But that's Rick Carlisle's fault. I blame him. Obi could have come in there and dunked for us. We had a 10x in the Discord waiting for Obi dunk, but didn't get there. If you're interested in this stuff, we're always talking in the Discord. You can check us out. Link is in the description. The only way you can sign up right now is by using one of my codes. Just DM me, say, hey, use your code, and I'll get you in for a free month. I'm working on setting up the payment plan to get in here. It's going to be $20 a month, but Discord changed their rules, so I have to find a different payment method. But I'm very close to getting that set up. But we have a lot of fun in here, always talking, sports, talking props, talking plays, baseball, esports. People have been doing darts lines, which is hilarious. But yeah, we have a lot of fun in here, just a bunch of like-minded people, and the community continues to grow. So again, $20 a month, but you can get in here for free using my codes or links. PrizePicks, Underdog, Chalkboard, Sleeper, Dabble, all my favorite DFS platforms. They have deposit matches when you sign up. They have $10 when you get Dabble, $500 deposit match when you get Sleeper. They're going to give you free squares. Typically, I know Sleeper does. When you sign up, you're going to get a newbie free square. So there's incentive to get on there, but it's kind of a win-win-win. You sign up using my code, I get a little bit kicked back my way. I'm just going to give it back to you via a free month, and you're going to get deposit matches. You don't have to play these things every day. We take advantage of the discounts they're throwing at us. If Sleeper throws a discount at us, there's no reason for us not to play Sleeper that day. You know what I mean? You don't have to play it every day. I know it's kind of, I don't want to be on 5 different DFS platforms, but you kind of do because they drop promos all the time and you want to take advantage. So that's the reason you want to be on multiple DFS platforms. But yeah, there's the Discord. Hopefully you want to get in here, see how we roll in here. We've been profitable every single month except for April. We went down 10 units in April. But other than that, 140 units in March, 75 units or whatever in February definitely make up for that. So we've been consistently, winning. We're not going to win every day, but in the long run of things, we've been killing it. So check us out. We'd love to have you, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video, or if you're in the Discord, I'll see you in there. Peace out.